So, I did a video a few days ago about 600,000 homes in the UK, empty, sitting there with nobody in them. It got a really good response. So, as I promised to you, that if I got a good response, got some comments, got good interest, I'd go into a bit more details on how you can get the list of these homes in your local area, and also how you can get the contact for the owners of that property, and also how you get in contact with them. So stay tuned. In this video, all will be revealed. So Craig Parker here from Parker's Property Sourcing, just coming at you with another video today. And today's video is the part 2 of my empty homes series. In the first one, we talked about 600,000 empty homes sitting across the UK. Now I'm going to show you exactly how to find them, get in touch with the owners legally and ethically. That's important because we've got GDPR now and all these new rules, so we've got to make sure we take that into consideration, and that's very important. In a way, we're going to do it in a way that actually works. So think of this as your roadmap to finding hidden properties that are off market. Let's get into it. So why empty homes are a massive opportunity? I believe the reason why my video got so many views and the reason why so many people are showing an interest is because you people are smart and you can see the opportunities that I see when we see empty homes across the UK. It's a gold mine. It's a gold mine of an opportunity, I'd say. And every single one represents a potential deal waiting to happen. These properties could be left after probate. They could be abandoned by landlords, sometimes just forgotten about. So by helping bring them back to life, you're not only going to be making a profit, but you're also going to be improving your local community. And that's the mindset you've got to kind of have throughout the process of this video. You're going to have to go down the angle of helping to improve your community with getting less people, less homes that are not being used to start being used by people that need them. So that's the mindset. We're solving a problem here, and we're also creating value. So just keep that as your mindset, yeah? But helping the community, and that helps with the housing supply pandemic that we're currently in. So here's the nuggets. Pay attention. Where are we finding these empty homes? Yeah? Start off with your local council. Most councils have empty home offices. What you got to do is just search empty homes on your council website. You'll be surprised. Then use the Land Registry to check ownership. From last time I checked, it's a few pounds it costs that it will give you the official owner's details. So stay with me. Once you've gone to your local council's empty homes list and you've contacted the officer, yeah, and we'll get into how we're going to do that in a bit later on in this video. Then the next thing you do, once you've got their details or you've got the details of the empty homes, so that would be the address, yeah. What you do then is you jump onto Land Registry to check the home ownership, yeah, and then it'll give you the details for a few pounds you have to pay, but it'll give you the details of the owner. If the owner's a company, then you can just jump on Company House, find the director info, yeah. You can also look on planning portals, which also can tell you whether houses are empty or not. Why do we look on planning portals? A lot of these abandoned houses are abandoned because they got bought, got planning permission to do refurbs or extensions, and then whoever was doing it ran out of money, couldn't finish the job, house just gets left abandoned. So planning portals are another good one. And lastly, a good one is to drive around your target area. That's what we call driving for pounds, basically, in one of the courses that I attended. It's called driving for pounds. You can even look at auction lists. Each of these little things that I've spoke about can uncover properties that no one else is chasing. So, when you contact the council and you contact the empty homes officer directly, there's certain things you can get access to, and there's certain things you can't. So I've put a little bit of a list here. If you want to pause this video now and take a screenshot, feel free to do so. But I'll just quickly run through it as well. Yeah. So every council has someone in this role. Yeah. So that in every council, they have to have an empty homes officer. You can contact them and ask them if they have a list of long-term empty properties. Done it before, so I know it works. Some councils will share addresses or partial info, but sometimes that's all you need. Yeah, that usually the ones that have got back to me give the full address, and then it's down to you to do the research on who owns it. But they will tell you where the empty homes are. The reason why they don't have it on a public list anymore, and you have to, ask for it and prove who you are and prove your profession, is because when the empty homes list was public on council websites, they were getting a lot of squatters. People just finding the list, going there, and staying there because they know that nobody's in there. So they was getting a lot of squatters. Also, even if they can't give the owner details, they often confirm which properties are empty and pass your details onto the owner. Yeah? So what they do is, if you approach them, and I'm going to show you in this video again, I'm giving so much nuggets in this video, so stay tuned, stay switched on. If you approach them and you explain that you're a professional landlord, professional homeowner, you're an investor, and you're looking to get properties that aren't being used, get them back to scratch and get them back on the market to help the community. They see that you're a professional business, as you are, professional investor. They will then pass your details onto the owner of the property. Yeah, some councils even have empty home partnerships schemes that connect buyers and owners. Like, for me, so far in this video I'm giving you is so much information that you really need to just take your time, take it all in, and really pay attention, because the opportunities are madness. As I said, there's over 600,000 homes in the UK that are empty right now. And I'm showing you how you can get in contact and find them. Another way would be council tax department. Imagine the council tax, they know which properties are classed as long-term empty for council tax purposes. Yeah? Sometimes they'll forward your inquiry to the empty homes officer. If you explain you're a local investor and you're helping bring properties back into use. It's another way around it, It's this approach isn't what everybody does, because it's not an easy approach. But I'm breaking it down as easy and as clearly as possible. That first way that I just spoke to you about doesn't work. Contact the council tax department, explain who you are, and then for the council tax people to say to them, look, I'm a local investor. Can you point me in the right direction to empty homes that I can bring back to use to help you guys out and the community? So when you have contacted them and you've got a response, and you'll be very surprised at the details you get, but there are some things you can't get access to because of GDPR. It's just how things are right now. Yeah. So they won't give you the owner names, phone numbers, or correspondence addresses directly from the council. What they will give you is the address of the empty home, but they won't give you the name of the owner, the phone number, or their correspondent address. Yeah. So anything classed as personal information under the GDPR, which is fair enough. So in the next clip, on the next slide, I'm going to show you, once you get that address of the empty home, how you can then obtain the details of the people that you need to contact. So once you've spotted an empty home and you need to find out who owns it, you need to do it legally. Yeah, what I'm giving you here is it needs to be done legally. All right. So Land Registry will be your best friend if this is, a strategy route you're going to go down. You'll get the registered owner's name and their correspondence address. Yeah, on Land Registry. If it's a company, use Companies House for directors and their contact info. And if you can't find details on any of those two, which I'm sure you will, but if you can't, then you can use a professional tracing service like 192.com. Don't ever use any dodgy data sites. Yeah. Another way, you can actually just go around and ask the neighbours. So if you found the address of the abandoned home and you just pop round into the local area and you want to go and see the outside of it, maybe knock on the neighbours. So explain to them who you are, what you're planning to do very nicely, approach it very professionally. They often know what's going on. You know the saying, nosy neighbours, so use them. But I would say this, always stay within the GDPR rules. Being respectful here is very key. You've got to be very respectful and not breach any GDPR rules because it's illegal. So everything I'm talking to you about now is all above board. But just, make sure that you're using these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strategies in how to legally get the owner's details. So now, here's a professional way to reach out to the council. Yeah. I've just put a little template in here. Again, you can pause the video, take a screenshot of it, copy it into your own email bed and send it out, and it's just simple. Dear whoever the council place is, I'm getting in touch to ask you about any properties in your local area that have been empty for a long period. I'm a local investor who brings unused homes back into good condition and back into use. If you're able to share any details or point me towards empty home register, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you for your time and help. That simple. Send that to the councils in the areas that you're looking to invest in, and you'll be very, very surprised at the response you get. This approach is polite, it's clear, it tells them that you're trying to bring properties back into use, not just make money. Councils really love that. I've used this exact approach before and it works. The goal is to build trust, not to demand information. And when you keep it professional, you'll be surprised on how helpful these councils can actually be. Another one, another approach could be a door drop letter. So once you've got the details of the owner of the property that's empty from the council and your land registry, you can then drop them a letter through their door. So it's nice and it's not in their face. You can't knock on the door and pitch to them. But it could be something like dropping a letter through their letterbox. I'll read through it again. I noticed this property so give the name. I noticed this property at the address looks empty or unused. I wondered if the owner might be open to a discreet conversation about selling or restoring it. I buy and manage properties locally, helping bring homes back into use quickly and stress-free. If this message reaches the owner or someone who can help, please contact me with your details below. Again, Keep it short, keep it friendly. People respond better when you're genuine. As I said, mention the address, explain that you buy and manage homes, and the owner may just not know what to do with the property and might see your letter and think, you know what, let me give this person a call. Another approach could be email. So once you've got the owner's contact details, this is where you can switch to email or phone. Keep it relaxed, as I said. No hard selling. The goal is to show them that you can make the process quick, respectful, hassle-free. So you can buy as is and even cover legal costs if you really want to get them, motivated. That immediately it lowers resistance. Most owners are emotionally or financially drained with these properties, as I've said in the previous video. So being calm and professional makes all the difference. This template is pretty similar to the drop door letter. Hope you don't mind me reaching out. My name's whatever your name is. I buy and refurbish properties locally. I came across said address, which appears to be empty. Wanted to check if you'd consider selling or need help getting it back into use. I can purchase as is, handle everything quickly, confidently, and cover legal costs where needed. If you're open to a quick chat, and in your details below. These three little strategies of, how we spoke about, three little strategies on how we can contact the owners. And we've also spoke about how we get them. And these, if you stick to this strategy, you'd be so surprised on how far you get and what sort of people you get in front of and how many homes in your local area that are just literally sitting there empty. But I can't stress enough, always stay ethical and compliant. GDPR isn't just a buzzword. It's about respecting people's privacy. Many of these properties, in this scenario, these empty properties, are linked to tough situations like bereavement. So you've got to be quite understanding. Treat people the way you want to be treated. And if it were your family's home, for example, that's what keeps your reputation solid and your business growing for long term. As I've said before, if you're watching this, you are about to be, or you are a smart, savvy investor, but being ethical is very important in this sort of scenario. So I can't stress enough, So to wrap this video up, it's been a bit of a longer video than usual, but as I said in my first video, when I just touched upon it, if I got the response, I'd go into more details. So this is a more detailed video to the first video about the 600,000 empty homes in the UK. So just to wrap this all up, finding and contacting the owners of empty homes, it's not about shortcuts. It's all about being consistent. You're not going to get every single deal. That's just the way it is. But if you keep applying these steps that I've put in this video, the right opportunities will come. For sure they will come. So my advice to you is stay patient, keep it professionals, and remember, your approach to these councils, and these people that are the owners of these empty homes, your approach, listen carefully, is that you're helping bring homes in the local community back to life that are not being used to be back in use. That's what you got to really stick with, and that's got to be your angle. Really hope you've enjoyed this video. Put a comment below if it's been insightful and it's giving you, a bit of a strategy, a bit of an idea of, where your next property deal is going to come from, or where your first property deal is going to come from. You can get one of these properties that are empty and you can get in front of the owner. You are more than likely going to get it below market value. I've been Craig Parker. Till next time.